Morning, guys, on this fine, what is it? I guess it's Thursday already. Here in Chula Vista, California, just south of San Diego, right next to the Mexican border, where no one here seems to be afraid about the border, but that's because we live here and we know how it really is. But anyway, looks like it's gonna be another typical San Diego day here, which is nice. It was freezing last night. By freezing, I mean it must have been 55 at least. I mean, it was chilly. So that's 55 is freezing in San Diego. You know, just like a drop of rain is a hurricane. So everything is, they say everything's bigger in Texas, but when it comes to inclement weather, the reaction is definitely biggest here in California to even the slightest bit of foul weather. So anyway, that's that speech for today. So what I wanted to talk about a little bit today was how we react when we get a positive response. And we've learned how to text with Zillow and Craigslist and attract that initial response from the seller. And we've talked about, even if it's just a slight indication that they might be interested down the road, whatever, any kind of positive indication, or any seller that you talk to, we want to give an offer to. So we came to that conclusion. So once you see there's a slight level of interest, you have a couple of choices. You can continue to text with them and just send them an email with the offer if you have that information already, which, you know, you can do that. And I was doing that when I first started, and, you know, the results are what they are. Or you can, as soon as you see any interest, pick up the phone and call that person. And that's what I highly, highly recommend you do. And you don't have to know anything. You don't have to be a world-class expert to pick up the phone and call these people. You know, it doesn't take any special skill. So you're going to ask them some real basic questions. You know, you want to find out. I basically start the conversation with, how long have you been on the market? Are you listed with a realtor, and how long have you been on the market? Okay. You know, it doesn't matter what they say to any of these answers. My end game is always going to be, oh, okay, great. Well, I'm an investor from California, and I have several different ways I can purchase your property if it makes sense for me. So what I'd like to do, what I'm doing is probably not going to work for you based on how long you've been on the market, but it won't hurt you to at least have my information in your hands. So if you can shoot me over your email, or just tell me your email now, I'll go ahead and send you over an offer, and at least you'll have, you know, my information in front of you. Should you know, it makes sense for you to take a look at it at some point. And that's really my whole conversation, no matter what they say. Okay? But I still like to find out what their motivation is, and, you know, I'll talk to them as much as they want to be talked to, but all I'm trying to do in that conversation is to get that email address. But even if I just have a very visceral, surface level conversation with that seller, there's still 100 times more rapport now between me and that seller than there would be if I was just texting back and forth. Okay? Another thing I'll say in communicating with sellers, the second they start acting suspicious, or, you know, as if you're some kind of scammer or anything like that, pull back hard on them right away. I mean, I'm not going to deal with that. I understand why they're doing it, but I let them know right away that I'm not that guy, and I'm not going to make a federal case defending myself either. So I just tell them, you know, if you're interested, circle back with me. I understand your hesitation, but, you know, feel free to look me up on the internet or whatever, but I don't know what else I can provide you. I'm not giving you my credit report, or, you know, it's just not going to happen. So, and not that I have anything super major to hide. I got the same credit report that the rest of you probably have. I mean, I was 22 once too, and I'm 52 now. So, you know, you can imagine what my credit report looks like. The same as most people in my age range, probably. So anyway, I'm not hiding anything. I'm not going to send my credit report to a seller. I'm the buyer, guys. We're the buyer, remember? So they're not running the show, we are. And you need to establish that early on. Any relationship where you can't establish that and the seller wants to be in the dominant position, just get them an offer and move on. Just say, great. Doesn't look like we're going to be able to work together at the moment. You've got my offer. If anything makes sense for you down the road, give me a call back. Appreciate it. See you later. Guys, the pullback is the most powerful weapon you have. Anytime you get objections and things where the seller's just pressing and pressing on something, pull back. You don't have to stay in that deal. There's tons of deals out there. This is a volume game. We don't need to deal with sellers that are, being difficult. If they're being difficult, they're not truly motivated, guys. Okay? The truly motivated seller is going to assist you in making it work. They may not be super happy that this is the way things have shaped up for them, but at the end of the day, they've come to the conclusion that what we're offering is going to be the best situation for them. So they're going to work with you. If they're pulling against you and fighting against everything you're trying to do, it's not worth your time, guys. Okay? So to wrap it up really quickly, send out those texts and everything. And look, you can respond via text and email and try to communicate 100% electronically. And yeah, as long as you keep sending out offers, you'll get some deals. But it's going to be 1/10 of what you get if you pick up that phone. And again, you're not going to pick up the phone and have to hard sell anybody. You're asking a couple of questions and getting an email address. That's what you're trying to do. So how long have you been on the market? Are you listed with a realtor? The answer is yes. Oh, okay. How long have you been on the market? 6 months. Okay. Whether the answer is 6 months, 1 month. If the answer is 1 month, my response would be, oh, okay, well, what I'm going to propose probably doesn't make sense for you then, having just been on the market for a month. My programs work much better for somebody who's been on the market for, quite a while and are just not satisfied with the way that the conventional market's responding for whatever reason, so they want to take a look at something else. So probably won't work for you, but I'll tell you what, let me get your email. I'll at least send it over to you, and then you'll have it in case you want to take a look at it at some point down the road, or in case things don't work out for you the way you're hoping they will. And hopefully that doesn't happen, but if it does, at least you'll have my info. Sound good? And that's the conversation, okay? And then if they say, oh, it's been on the market for 6 months, oh wow, geez, been out there for a while. What's going on with it? Do you think it's not listed right, or what's holding it up? I know the market's pretty tough right now. Oh yeah, for whatever reason it's not selling, or we don't think the realtor, blah, blah, blah. Whatever the reason is, then you go into you're going to go into your, well, let me send over what I can do for you. We have a bunch of different ways we can buy houses. Let me pull up yours and take a closer look at it. What we're basically doing with these first phone calls, we just kind of reach out and see if there's any inkling of interest where you may even consider it. And then once that happens, we can pull your house up, take a closer look. And then, what I'll probably give you is, depending on the home, we'll probably give you a couple different ways we could look at purchasing it. And you can at least have them to review and see if they make sense for you. So anyway, all your conversations are going to lead there, right? And that's all you're doing. But by having that conversation, I've found that the level of rapport between myself and the seller, and the odds and the number of contracts I get are proportionately, I need to do the math on it, and I really am going to start doing this when I get enough people to start tracking all this stuff a little better. Or I build something in the system to do so, because I'd really love to see it. But I'm guessing it's probably 10 times better with people I've picked up the phone and had a conversation with. Because in 2 seconds, you're like friends with these people. You're not selling anything, guys. It's an easy phone call. All right, we'll talk more about this, but it's a very important subject. I know I had one about the phones earlier, and I'm stressing that again, but the conversation, people keep asking me, what do I say? How do I talk to? You don't need to know anything, guys. You're asking them for their email address so that you can send them some offers that may make sense to them in the future. And if you frame your request that way, they'll almost always give you the email. And that's critical to have so that follow-ups can happen, because that's where 80% of our deals come from, guys. Follow-ups. All right. Have a great day. I will talk to you next time. Thanks. Bye.